Rhythm 2, sync.
Rip these things from your head and beat them into mine. It's not to say you can't believe what you believe, but save your speech for someone else and not for me. Hold your tongue, don't waste another breath. I'm ready to burn if that's what I deserve, that's what I'll give. Hold your tongue, don't waste another breath. I'm ready to burn. If that's what I deserve, that's what I'll give. You think you have the answers, and that's okay for you. I'd prefer to question and put my mind to use. That's not to say you can't believe what you believe, but save your speech for someone else and not for me. Hold your tongue, don't waste another breath. I'm ready to burn. If that's what I deserve, that's what I'll give. Hold your tongue, don't waste another breath. I'm ready to burn. If that's what I deserve, that's what I'll give. get things done, and I do have a lot to do. 5 rough days ahead this week. This week. This week. It's 6 o'clock on Monday night, and still you haven't called. So I put away my odds and ends, turn my computer on, trying to put things in order, still wondering how to redefine myself, wonder if this really matters, maybe not for someone else. And I notice the time moves so quickly, I haven't the time to see how far we've come. Being yourself is so tricky, maybe not for someone else. Trying to put things in order, still wondering how to redefine myself, wonder if this really matters, maybe not for someone else. And I've noticed how time moves so quickly, I haven't the time to see how far we've come. Being yourself is so tricky, maybe not for someone else. Trying to put things in order, still wondering how to redefine myself, wonder if this really matters, maybe not for someone else. Notice how time moves so quickly, I haven't the time to see how far we've come, how far we've come. Is floating eastward over sand, escapes me on an endless summer's day. And though I tried my best to catch the streamboat, it slips through outstretched fingers and away. By myself, watching the kite fly high into the blue, taunting me like a child. To build a box kite for me, the airbrush sides green designs painted by you. The kite is floating eastward over sand, escapes me on an endless summer's day. By myself, watching the kite fly high child. Vertigo, falling upwards into the sky. Wind too strong, defeating these hands of mine. Learn how to build a box kite for me. The airbrush side screen designs painted by you. Learn how to build a box kite for me. The airbrush side screen designs painted by you.
I think for the Northern Two, biggest musical influences would be like definitely 80s pop music, like stuff you'd hear like in a club, you know, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Human League, Pet Shop Boys, all kind of, you know, Cyndi Lauper, all the kind of pop stuff. Definitely like sounds from like arcade games, just video game culture.
Definitely.
Influences, that kind of stuff. Game Boy, that kind of stuff. Well, like video games have always been like a big inspiration because like I think Seth and I kind of came up in the time when, you know, video games started. We were lucky enough to be like little kids when video games kind of came around and became like really popular at the peak of like the arcade popularity and stuff. And Nintendo, like the NES and all that stuff, is just like a part of like every little kid's life, you know, at that time, like early
Definitely.
80s, mid 80s. So it's just, that was like a huge influence. The purity of like the graphics and the sounds, and just like, it's kind of like an uplifting kind of just noises for no reason that happen.
Right.
It's something that, you know, was kind of new to society at that point, so.
Sway, the old Sway that we had kind of is going to be a completely different than what we are doing now. Like I'm not going to be playing drums or anything. I'm going to be sticking with piano and the keyboard stuff. That comes from playing with the Northern Two and stuff like that, and getting onto that, and so yeah.
So it's kind of been a transformation from the old Sway where it was very instrument based to the Northern Two, and now you're going back to the similar to the former sound, but you're including some of the new aspects. Was that a hard transition to go through from the using the drums to the keyboard, and now going back and going to the next group?
No, because I grew up playing piano and playing keyboards and stuff. Like I think in piano, so like when I think of notes, I think of piano keys and stuff. And like Andy probably thinks in guitar. So I grew up with that, and then like even on there's some recordings that we did with Sway and stuff like that. Like Andy had me play.
I gotta take this. Hold on a second. Take this real quick. Hello? No, we can't. Yeah. Okay, bye.
So who was it?
That was, I can't really tell you.
Okay, okay.
I can't really tell you, but that was actually our lawyer, and apparently we're not actually supposed to be here right now. So I hope that is not a problem, but...
No, I think it should work out pretty
okay,
good.
we'll try to like keep it. I was actually BMI, and now you guys owe us like $3,000 in royalties.
Okay, well.
I'm
cool.
just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, but Andy had me play some piano stuff on the old Sway stuff.
Okay, so
there's like 2 songs that he played, and then from that we transitioned into Andy wanting to do stuff with the Northern Two and stuff. And then now we're just basically taking the Northern Two and bringing it back to, I don't know what.
Including the rest of the
Including everybody else.
individuals.
Like kind of Sway 2.0.
2.0. I like the way you put that.
It's like a more stripped down. It's like kind of like with Sway, everything was just like so like heavy duty, like moody stuff, and that's because we kind of have like a love for like sound and just like, you know, the kind of music that's, it's almost just like tripper music. It's just big expanses of sound. With the Northern Two, everything, I mean with Sway, everything was just so like big and drawn out and everything. And Northern Two is kind of like a way to explore more of like a pop music side while still having like noises and things of that nature that are inspired by like our childhood playing video games and that sort of thing. Just more of like, you know, a need to kind of be a little more like happy or something.
Right,
Not that Sway wasn't happy. The newer Sway stuff will be more, it'll be definitely the Sway that people are used to, and it'll just be like a little more technology based without super heavy synthesizers, because we want to make the guitar, piano kind of like the main thing. So.
The next 5 weeks you're in hell, kid. You'll turn and you'll burn and you'll learn. But one thing I'll tell you is crucial. Must do your pencils tonight. Alright. Have a cold one. Not too many, you're learning too well. Get some sleep, and tomorrow I'll see you in hell. Trying to get that keyboard. And I'm starting to daydream as well. I'm fading, but no one can tell. Have a cold one. Not too many, you're learning too well. Get some sleep, and tomorrow I'll see you in hell. Have a cold one. Not too many, you're learning too well. Get some sleep, and tomorrow I'll see you in hell. do Last Night in Downey. Strand of your hair lying on the floor. The thought of leaving it behind just makes my heart ache. So I tucked it up into my pocket so it's not alone. It's my last night in Downey, and I'm moving quite alone. I'm missing you already, dying to come home. It's my last night in Downey, and I'm feeling quite alone. I am missing you, and I'm dying to. For things that you left behind, but nothing except the empty space in the bed where you slept last night, where you lay the night before. Now your pillow still feels warm. It's my last night in Downey, and I'm feeling quite alone. I am missing you already, I'm dying to come home. It's my last night in Downey, and I'm feeling so alone. I am missing you, and I'm dying to. It's my last night in Downey, and I'm feeling so alone. I am missing you already, I'm dying to come home. It's my last night in Downey, and I'm feeling so alone. I am missing you already, I'm dying to come home. help you through the night. And though it may get boring for me, I don't want to see you cry. Someday I'll be the one for you to call, to make things alright. And I'll hum this song all night. If that's what it takes. And though this may get boring for you, I don't want to hear you cry. Someday I'll be the one for you to call, to make things alright. Someday I'll be the one for you to call. And are you sleeping yet? Someday I'll be the one for you to call and make things alright. Someday I'll be the one for you to call. And are you sleeping now? Ba, 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 ba.
Well, Northern 2, we've been playing for about 2 years now, since the last Sway show that we did. Northern 2 was playing for about 2 years, doing shows here, LA, San Francisco, up the coast and everything. As many shows as we could play for as many people that would come. We did okay. We have our stuff on iTunes, we have our CD. A lot of stuff that's ready to be licensed, hopefully for TV shows and a couple movies.
Fantastic.
So if that goes through, that'll be pretty cool. And then from here on out, we're going to, at least for an undetermined amount of time, we're going to get back into Sway and do some of that stuff. So hopefully we'll hear some of that in the future. Northern 2 is, the music's available, so everybody should check it out. Like, we finally got it pressed. We were holding out for a long time because we're kind of, you know, from the new school that the CD is kind of a dying art form, and it was always kind of hated in the past from people that liked LPs because the artwork is so small and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of gaudy.
Right.
The digital thing, especially for the Northern 2, digital only, it was like such a freedom, and it's like, it's kind of like an environmental stance as well. But people want their CDs, so it's kind of nice to have a cool CD, so
Definitely.
check it out. So. The title of that was actually came from my daughter and her friend when they were like still pretty little. I don't know how old they were. It must have been like 4 or something like that. They were playing in the bathtub with their Barbies. And when little kids start to play, like little girls, they like to make little storylines and like, you know, character associations and things of that nature. And I remember her little friend was saying something like, I'm gonna be your mother and I have magical powers. And then my daughter had her Barbie and they're in the bathtub. And she's like, well, my Barbie is gonna be a mermaid and it's going to be able to throw bombs out of its heart. And I remember I was walking by the bathroom and they were like taking a bath, and I was like, what the hell? That is like the most genius thing I've ever heard. It sounds like something they'd make a video game for like back in the day.
Definitely. You can almost see it in
So,
the old pixelated Nintendo game.
Yeah, you don't really think of like a mermaid as being like a weapon of mass destruction. But I think it's kind of cool to, that imagery is just pretty awesome. So
I work with kids during the day, and it's true, when you let them play with each other and you give them the tools, they just come up with the most random things, and it's poetry, really. It's poetry.
It's awesome.
Has your daughter inspired you in other ways as far as in the music? Do you feel that is something that you...
Pretty much everything that my kid does, and I just have one daughter right now. Pretty much everything that she does inspires me for music. I'm really inspired by family, but my kid especially, with the art that little kids do, things, it's just so like pure and simple. And it's so sad, like when you see people get older, and like kids when they get older, they get into like 4th, 5th grade and everything, you know, like everything has to be like coloring within the lines, whereas when they're little kids, they don't care.
Right.
They just they just do what they feel. It's not because they don't know how, it's a factor, but it's because they're just being creative. They're just expressing themselves, like they learn how to talk. So that whole period in my daughter's life, like when Maddie was like, you know, from the time she was like 2 years old to like 5, 6, and even now, she's a real creative kid, so it's inspiring.
I'm a mermaid that throws bombs out of my heart. I'm a mermaid that throws bombs out of my heart.
You can be whatever toy suits you best. The only toy for me is as follows. A subaquatic Barbie from another time, with firepower enough to change the world. You can be the avatar that floats your boat. The avatar for me is simply this: a subaquatic creature from another time and place, with firepower enough to end the world, to end the world.